Okay, so I can officially say that I am caught up on Skeleton Crew. And to be quite honest, I did not know how I was going to feel coming into this show. And what I mean by that is Disney marketing sucks. um when I say Disney marketing sucks, their marketing team is almost as bad as the PR team they put in place to protect their actors. It is absolutely fucking abysmal and horrible. I really didn't know what I was going to feel in regards to this show because it really did seem as though it was just Star Wars with kids. I couldn't have been more wrong. At least I thought it was going to be bad Star Wars with kids. You know that whole one in every 10, not even one in every 10, flip those numbers. 9 in every 10 child actors are really, really bad. And then 1 in every 10 of them are absolutely fantastic. Kind of like how Game of Thrones season 1 through 3 kind of sucked up all of the young child actor talent for a while there. I am absolutely in love with this series. Like, I love it. I know that this series is tailored for kids, like this whole introduction to young children, probably between the ages of like 8 and 12, going off on a grand adventure. It's basically the Goonies. It's the Goonies in Star Wars. And I didn't know I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. One of the things that I don't even know why it still surprises me these days is the fact that I can enjoy Star Wars without Jedi. I can enjoy Star Wars without Sith. I didn't think that I was going to be able to. Andor proved me wrong, but I thought Andor was the outlier. Like that one thing that really shouldn't have worked as well as it did, but absolutely worked and knocked it out of the park. Skeleton Crew proves that again. So much pirate lore, so much good pirate lore, giving the pirates their own personality where they don't feel like any other group of people we've ever seen before. Like it feels as though there's a little bit, just a wee bit. Disney was like, you know what? Let's take the dynamic the pirates have in Pirates of the Caribbean and let's just put it in Star Wars in space. So many different types of pirates that we have essentially been introduced to, and that is great. There's a They even have like pirate shanties and pirate songs, like the song in which he sings for Renan, the like the great pirate king. I was kind of hoping that we would have got a what's my man's name from Clone Wars? He always showed up, absolute menace. He was he was a pirate, then he was a traitor, then he went back to being a pirate, then he went back to being a traitor. And I think the last time we saw him, he was doing like a shipping Hondu, Yondu. Hold on, is it Hondu? I'm gonna Google it. Hondu, is it Hondo? Hondo Onaka, my man. I really was hoping that we were going to see him at the little Pirate Haven thing. Also, the Pirate Haven thing was beautiful. I love that entire thing. The idea of like it's just like this giant asteroid that they carved out, and there are all of these ships all over the place with different crews, and there's all of these just different personalities in like this big old melting pot. And the person who's basically able to bark the orders is literally a giant wolf dog guy. Love it. Jude Law really works well with these kids. Didn't think he was going to, but holy hell does he. There's such a nice balance between slimy pirate and caring human being. Like slimy pirate who's willing to betray all of these kids, but caring human being who stops and sits down with Wim to kind of teach him like a life lesson. Caring human being who decides to make a trade when they're not on at Aden, the at whatever other world, and he brings back the alpacas because he kind of talked those other pirate people out of basically going to war with the other people. Kind human being when he gets the relay message from the parents in the most recent episode and he lets the kids listen to it so that they can understand that, like, you know, their parents are, you know, looking for them, but then right back to slimy pirate who needs to get in there and take basically all the money. Love it. Their dynamic is great. The dynamic within the team of kids is really great as well. Wim is great as the basically the character who wants adventure, but then has come to realize the adventure isn't exactly what he wanted. Fern's great as like the little boss girl, but at the exact same time being sensitive enough to realize that she messed up and she may have just like made a horrible decision that got one of her friends injured or really killed. KB kind of caught me off guard because I remember from original Star Wars, I always thought that those people were androids. That so if you remember on Cloud City, Lando has that one dude who basically helped him take over the security system inside of Cloud City. I thought that was an android guy. Apparently I'm wrong. Apparently it's just cybernetics. And I'm really wondering, does she grow? Like that's a true question. Like, does she grow like a normal person and she gets like new implants every time she gets like a little bit older? It's like, okay, you're older now. These implants no longer fit. They're causing you a little bit of discomfort. We're gonna upgrade them for you. I'm gonna slot that in, do that because that's some cyberpunk stuff. That's some cyberpunk stuff that I really never thought about in regards to Star Wars. Also, Jaleel White is in this. At least I think that's Jaleel White. Yes, it is. He plays Gunter, who also has a bunch of like cybernetic stuff. I For whatever reason, I there are cybernetics in Star Wars, but I've always had like this separation in my head of cyberpunk type aesthetic and Star Wars, where it's like, oh, Luke has a cybernetic hand. Cool, that's fine. But having like full on cyborg cybernetic implants and walking around and doing upgrades and things along those lines didn't factor in until this series. And now that I know that that type of thing exists in the universe, it's super fucking cool. I absolutely love it that there are people that do that. And shout out to this series for completely fixing gambling planets for me. I'm not gonna lie. The Last Jedi with Canto Bight, it took a lot out of me. It took a lot out of me. Like I have an adverse reaction when I hear we're going to like a luxurious treasure planet. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. You're gonna fuck it up. But the one that they introduced during episode 6, which was the one before this, where it's like this luxurious treasure planet. Well, it's not really a treasure planet. It's like a luxurious gambling spa planet, and it's like the rich and the affluent, and we have Denarian goose feathers for our pillows. That's great. I absolutely love that. I love that when the kids got there, they turned back into kids because everything was super dope. I also like that he tried to do the whole 3 kids in a trench coat thing. This is like, yes, the wise elders. That was great. I love that as well. I'm loving every single thing about this show. Now we're going to talk about things that I'm not really fond of in this show. The Jedi thing. I didn't think I was going to dislike the fact. I would have been fine if he was just force sensitive, but now he has a lightsaber, and I'm like, why? Do you really need one? It would have been cool for it to be like, hey, I discovered that I can do like these things. Like when I was young, I realized that I can move things and blah, 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 and I didn't want to join the Jedi Order, and I got sucked into a pirate crew, and I just used those abilities, because I feel as though Star Wars really never takes the time to be like, hey, there are Force users in the universe that don't join the Jedi Order. The books do, especially the expanded universe does, but you never really get that from the media. If we're going in a direction where the media is going to be like, hey, there are people out there, because The Last Jedi did it with Broom Boy, where there are going to be people that's like, hey, I've got Force abilities, and my Force abilities let me do this, and my Force abilities let me do that, but I didn't want to, join the Jedi or adhere to a code, or a situation that, because now that the Jedi are no longer there, these individuals don't have an order to basically show up and give them structure or rules in any way, shape, or form. So they've kind of had to learn how to use their abilities on their own. I would be down to explore more of that. That would be cool. of people who basically just discovered they had the force and were using it to just move simple things, but then they're not able to get into the deep nitty gritty of what the force is because there isn't an order out there that's willing to teach them, because the last order got absolutely torched, and then the one that Luke is currently fucking building is about to get torched as well. That's fine. The farthest stretch, or the space shark that's a little bit jumped, was in episode 7, where we discovered that the entire planet's basically covered in, well, it's not even really a an illusion, because you can fly through an illusion. It's literally just a barrier of death that's connected by these interconnected towers that arc lightning around it all the time. Um, that's a little bit of a jump, because like, damn, y'all hit this entire planet. So is this planet the only one that had this defense system? Did they all have the defense system? If they all had a defense system, why'd that other planet fall? Especially since we discovered there were like 6 or 7 of these treasure planets out there that basically made Old Republic credits. What's now? I'm hoping somebody can get into what's the difference between old, like when we say Old Republic, right? When I think Old Republic, I'm thinking Revan, Malak, thousands of years ago. I have a feeling when they say Old Republic, they're talking about the Galactic Republic before the Empire, where they were basically printing the money for that republic. Then we had the Galactic Empire, and they weren't printing the money for the Galactic Empire anymore. They were basically scrubbed and off on their own. And then when the New Republic showed up, they went back to printing money for the New Republic as well. I'm hoping that that's that, because the way in which they keep talking about it and the way in which they keep throwing around Old Republic, it's pissing me off. Because I'm like, okay, you're talking about the Old Republic, but are we talking about the Old Republic, or are we talking about the Old Republic? You know, like which one are we talking about here? The Old Republic, you know, the one that we really, really want, or the Old Republic, you know, the one that's like 3 days ago. It's 3 days old. The Empire only really lasted like 20 years. Like, you know, within my dad's generation, his republic. But other than that, the series is great. Absolutely love it. I can't wait for, I think the season finale is next week. Is it 8 episodes? Skeleton Crew episode count. It is, wait, bullshit. It's not over, is it? Okay, it's 8 episodes. I don't know why that says 7. So next week's episode is going to be the final episode, and I can't wait for it. We're probably going to do an episode review for that, now that I'm completely caught up on that as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Skeleton Crew so far. You enjoying it? You're not enjoying it? Let me know. Comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.